today's cup of coffee with Scream. There's been lots and lots of screaming on our end.
A lot.
And my God, it started Thursday.
Listen to the way that I sound. Do I sound like this normally? No. At least I hope I don't. This is fucking ridiculous.
Kid had, he did give me permission to share this, so it's not like it's a HIPAA thing.
Yeah, she's got full permission.
Yeah, because this is scary stuff, but who knows whether it's got paranormal and supernatural involved. I don't know, but it's some scary shit.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself because I am resigned to a mouth breather status.
Yeah. Yeah. And what happened was he, as y'all know, he's had the ear thing for months and not being resolved by antibiotics. So he went Thursday back out to the clinic and they didn't even check his throat. And he's like, look, I feel really bad. My ears still full, still feel full.
They hurt.
And it's like, oh, well, you've already gone through 2 rounds of antibiotics, so it sucks to be you. So next day, we were doing different things, and I noticed that he was not acting normally. And we were fighting the point broadband, trying to get our internet back and all that stuff. And, he kept saying he felt cold and different things like that. And so we drove out we were supposed to have service restored to our home. We did not, so drove out 5 miles to get to where we have cell signal. And, to try to report that. And he's like, I feel not good. And I'm like, what not good and how not good? And he starts telling me how bad he feels. So I call the clinic. This is like 2 minutes until 5. If he had told me earlier, I could have got him in out there.
Well, it started like about when were we at Nana's?
I have. You're asking me this at this point. I have no concept.
That's when I was like, oh shit, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
So they say, there's nobody there. Because this is rural America, okay, Appalachian Mountains, southwestern Virginia. So, sitting there talking to him, and he had the option of going to urgent care, which is about 25 miles from us, 25 minutes maybe. And he's like, yeah, I really think I need to go. And it's like, okay. So trying to juggle with point broadband and call back and everything like that and take a kid to urgent care. He had a temperature of 103.
Yep.
And it's like, well, shit. And so the provider did the normal routine, swabbed him for flu, COVID, strep, nothing. And she's like, okay, you're going to have to just be on alert as far as trying to get his fever down. That's the primary objective right now. And if it isn't better by the next day, you're going to take him to the ER. So next day, we're at the ER. We did thankfully get internet service. Thank you, Point Broadband, for finally correcting that. And so take him down there because there is a hospital closer, but it's all the same thing. It's Ballad Health. Everybody in this area is held hostage by Ballad Health. We have no options.
Fuck Ballad Health.
And when we have taken him to Smith County before, both of us have had some horrible, horrible experiences with that hospital. So the one in Abingdon is Johnston Memorial. And so he's seen by a nurse practitioner, which I don't have a problem with nurse practitioners or physician's assistants or any of those people. I really don't. But it's like, at that point, his temperature had gone down some. Now, earlier in the day, it had been 102. Virgin, again, on 103. So, we take him down there. Kid is shaking violently, which usually comes with high temperatures. And they're like, okay, it must be the IV that's doing this, because his temperature at that point was, 98 or 97 something, which was within normal range. But the shaking uncontrollably is not within normal range. And as far as IV doing that, honest to God, I've seen a lot of people with a lot of IVs. I've never seen anybody have that reaction.
Because it's not, people don't usually have that
Right.
reaction.
Right. And so it was just like, okay, the primary reason to have him there was no other option. And that was what urgent care had told us to do. And they did do blood work. His white count was slightly elevated, but not enough to where it was anything horrible. And it's the nasopharyngeal area. Okay, that's right below where the nose goes, and then right above the throat. And when most people think of the throat being sore, that's like from where you swallow down. That's not where his is. It's up. So she's sort of like, okay, it's virus. It's like, okay, they tested him again for all this stuff. None of that, And again, it sucks to be you. If you get to where you've got potato voice, come back and see us. So today, kid wakes up again with 103.
And I got the potato voice.
And it's potato voice.
This ain't good.
And it's amazing how your mind, I know just enough to be dangerous. And I'm thinking, please, God, don't let it be diphtheria. No diphtheria. And it's like he had these horrible headaches. That really freaked me out because his brother has had meningitis before. Twice. And so taking him back down there. And again with the, sucks to be you. You've got a virus. We don't know what kind of virus. Doctor acted pissy. I said, oh, so it's a variant. And he shot me a look. But he asked a very strange question. He's like, has he had all his vaccinations? I looked at him. And he said, when he was a kid. And I wish I had had the presence of mind to say, what does that matter? What does that have to do with what's going on with this kid today? But it didn't. Because when you're panicked and all this other stuff, you're scared and you don't know what's going on and you're doing what these other people are telling you to do and nothing is getting better.
I just don't understand why they refused to do any other testing on me.
Right. Because, there's a thing that's called a culture. And before I took him back to the ER, I had called the Ask a Nurse. And she was another one that's like me. She's old school. And it's like, oh, no, this is not. I told her, I said, this is one of those that if I had a swab, a petri dish, and an incubator, because he needs a culture. Now, the results are a little slower on those things, but they're more accurate.
Yeah.
And asking in that area because it's not that readily available, to the naked eye. If you go to an ear, nose, and throat person, it's like ENT, I'll go into shop talk on this. They have a scope. We found out they don't even have that capability in the ER.
No, and they do not have an ENT readily available in
the
ER.
That's why that some of these things are not getting done. One of the nurses told me, and I did tweet this out because I was just shocked, that if somebody comes in with a severe nosebleed to where that it would need to be cauterized, they can't do it there. What good are they? That's putting people at risk. What if somebody's got a severe nosebleed? What are they supposed to do? Just bleed out? It was just astounding.
That's what it sounds like to me. They do expect him just to bleed out, and it is astounding.
And it's like...
It's so infuriating. It's so frustrating.
So here, kid, his temperature was popping up, and the doctor's like, well, really, you don't have to worry until it gets up to 107. It's like, what? And the fact that I'm having to alternate every 4 hours between ibuprofen and acetaminophen, the only thing that's really, helping his temperature at this point, sherbet. That if he eats the sherbet, that helps bring the temperature. Of course, it would, it's cold, core temperature and stuff.
Sherbet, Tylenol, and Advil.
And the kid can't hardly swallow enough to eat.
Yeah.
And to sit there
It
and
sucks. It
it's like,
hurts.
oh yeah, I know you're going to feel like hell. Just ride it out. And it's like, yeah, cowboy, come over here and let me hit you in the nuts and you ride it out. I'm praying the whole way through, please God, keep a guard at my mouth, keep a guard at my mouth. Because I thought this is just absolutely insane. And as far as doing other cultures, to make sure that he didn't have, and they're like, oh, well, we'll do an x-ray of that area to make sure that there's not any kind of an abscess. X-rays are not effective with soft tissue. But the way that the system, this convoluted, twisted, demonic system is set up, you have to do the test first that will not work before you're allowed to have the imaging or whatever test that will work. Because it's all about the money. So, yeah, I'm going to set an alarm so that at 9 a.m. I can call his primary. His primary has been on vacation for a couple of weeks. The clinic opens back up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and to sit there and go, hey, I need to speak to this individual. This is urgent. And they actually know because I had called there on Friday.
Yep. Because this shit, it just sort of popped up.
Yeah.
But I can't even say it. Because it's so difficult to talk right now with this shit.
Yeah, I asked him if he would just, the kid is suffering. And it's hard to watch anybody suffer. And especially needlessly. But the fact that the ibuprofen and whatever is not affecting the pain area, it's not affecting the swelling, and to sit there and go, oh yeah, just keep riding that out. I don't think so. Hopefully we can get him in on an emergency visit to an ENT that can do a culture or knows what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be really nice.
Because I don't trust some of these people. And one of the other nurses that is old school, she's like, yeah, if you've got any kind of medical knowledge at all, do not leave your people alone in a facility. Yeah, we've done it before and ended up with people that was dead. And that it is, she said, it's up to those of us that do have some kind of medical background to try to help guide other people through. In other words, folks, if you can get healthy, please do that. Learn about herbalism because we're on our own. We truly are on our own. And the training that I had back in the 80s, look, the only thing that I didn't have was OBGYN and PEDS. I quit before then because I saw how it was going. I didn't flunk out. But I was telling them, we did a rotation at the Veterans Hospital, the VA there in Johnson City, Tennessee. And we had a med card. You were expected to know the appearance of every medication that you were giving out, have a general understanding of what that medication did, make sure that it was not going to interact with other medications in that cup. We had this huge 3 or 4 inch deep index card looking thing on a huge ring that we carried with us to look them up. At any point, the instructor could come and say, hey, see this pill? What is this pill? And we were expected to know. I don't think that the kids that are graduating now do that. Because when I look at somebody and I say, yes, they're swelling in the nasopharyngeal area, and they look at me like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, God. So I've got sick kid, and I don't know what to do. I mean, it's one of those that I'm afraid if some of the home remedies, if he does have to go for testing or something, that it could cause the testing to go weird. I don't know. I thought about having as far as golden seal. I really don't know what to do. And that was a horrible thing. This morning, I felt like I was being drawn and quartered to the point that I'm asking Grok, help me, what do I do? Because one person can only, I mean, that amount of responsibility and that amount of just, I don't want to say panic, but this is my kid.
See, that makes me feel bad because I don't want to I don't want you to feel that
look,
way.
It comes with the territory. That's welcome to the wide, wonderful world of mommy. It never goes away. Some of us got it in that just boo-coos. And yes, I'm like this with the oldest kid too. And God bless BB because she was right there with us.
Yeah.
So that's where we've been for the past couple of days. That's a reason as far as no cups of coffee and requesting prayers. Folks over there on BitChute and Rumble, I wish that there was a community notes thing the way that they have on YouTube, or I would have let y'all know what was going on. Oh, and I will say a huge thank you. And when we can get everybody stabilized, Josie's Jazzy Junk had sent us a box of amazing things. And that was just
stuff.
So we want to do a video highlighting those things because they arrived at a perfect time.
I love her art.
Yeah. And kid that just really lifted his spirits, and he needed that.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, thank you. And just thank all of y'all for praying for us, thinking about us, being patient with us. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
It's been lots of screaming. And I even have not had my normal amount of coffee.
No.
I am coffee deficient. So I would like to take a couple of days at some point and just, all I'm going to do is just sit and drink coffee all damn day. Mm-hmm.
I am Pepsi or Coke deficient.
Yeah, kid can't, as far as some of the carbonated stuff, it's really hard on that nasopharyngeal area.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, it could be bacterial, it could be, I don't know that it would be fungal, but something has to be done. I will tell you something. If Dr. Richardson, I know exactly what he would do if he was still alive.
What?
He would do the same thing he did when I went in with strep. He would paint that son of a bitch with iodine. And it worked.
We got iodine.
We do have iodine, but as far as trying to paint it in that nasopharyngeal area, that's not how that works.
You grab a Q-tip. I'll do it. I'll do it to myself.
No, it's a different type of iodine. It is. But I do have some iodine that I can put on your wrist that could get in your system if you're low on that.
Yeah.
And it's vodka. I was out of vodka because vodka kills germs, bacteria, inside, outside, upside down. And of course, when I needed it most, I had no vodka.
I've been meaning to replace it for over a year. Mm-hmm. I don't forget about. I have not forgot about that.
Yeah, but if we didn't have it when we needed it, it's totally against my philosophy. Oh, I have been a frustrated human being, and like I said, to not behave in a way that would bring shame to God. You know, there was no need, because some of these protocols are not made by the staff. It's made by these facilities. I have nothing but disdain for these hospitals that go around and take away choices from patients. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like that until Ballard came in, and I know it's like that across other areas. I know that Carillion's another one of the big monopolies on these hospitals and stuff, and it takes away the choice of the patients.
It does.
Especially in these small communities. Doesn't happen in these urban areas. They get anything and everything they want. Continued prayers for us, please. If you would tell them, you want to tell them, or are you talked out?
I can't do it.
It's okay. You can find us on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble. I'm over there on X. It's Warlinda, COCWS. He's changed his moniker again. It's okay, Clay. I did switch it in the description box, whatever it is. That thing that nobody reads. It's there.
Yeah.
Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.